Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri Winanti. So, on this occasion, I will present about my second project of sociolinguistic. Okay, the first is about speech act. A speech act is an utterance that serves a function in communication. We perform speech acts when we offer an apology, greeting, request, complaint, invitation, compliment, or refusal. Speech acts include real-life interactions and require not only knowledge of the language but also appropriate use of that language within a given culture. So this is some examples of speech act. For the greeting, "Hi Eric, how are things going?" Jadi ketika kita ingin menggunakan sapaan, kita bisa menggunakan greeting. And request, "Could you pass me the mashed potato, please?" Nah, request ini digunakan ketika kita ingin seseorang melakukan suatu tindakan untuk kita. Complain, "I've already been waiting 3 weeks for the computer, and I was told it would be delivered within a week." Nah, complain ini seperti keluhan ketika. Sedangkan invitation itu adalah sebuah undangan. "We are having some people over Saturday evening and want to know if you'd like to join us." Jadi ketika kita ingin mengundang seseorang untuk datang ke suatu acara, kita bisa menggunakan invitation. Kemudian compliment, "Hey, I really like your tie." Nah, jadi ketika kita menyukai hasil karya seseorang atau kita ingin memuji barang sesuatu milik orang lain, kita bisa menggunakan compliment. And then the last is refusal. "Oh, I love to see that movie with you, but this Friday just isn't going to work." Nah, penolakan ini digunakan ketika kita ingin menolak ajakan seseorang ketika kita tidak bisa memenuhi ajakan tersebut. Okay, the next is about locution. In the field of linguistics, particularly in speech act theory, the concept of locution, illocution, and perlocution are used to analyze how language functions in communication. Here are definitions and examples for each. The first is about locution. The locutionary act is the act of producing a meaningful linguistic expression. It involves the actual utterance and its literal meaning, including phonetics, syntax, and semantics. Jadi locution ini adalah tindakan menghasilkan ekspresi linguistik yang bermakna dan melibatkan ucapan sebenarnya dan makna literal. For example, the utterance is, "It's cold in here." Locutionary act. The speaker produces the sentence, "It's cold in here," which conveys the literal meaning that the temperature in the room is low. Jadi ketika pembicara sudah mengatakan "It's cold in here," itu pembicara mengucapkan arti yang sebenarnya bahwa temperatur di ruangan itu rendah. The next, illocution. The illocutionary act refers to the intention behind the utterance or what the speaker aims to accomplish by saying something. It involves the performative aspect of language, such as making a statement, request, promise, or command. Sedangkan illocution mengacu pada maksud di balik ujaran atau apa yang ingin dicapai oleh pembicara dengan mengatakan sesuatu. Nah, di sini masih sama untuk contohnya "It's cold in here." The speaker might be suggesting that someone should close the window, turn on the heater, or do something to make the room warmer. The illocutionary force is a suggestion or request. Okay. Now move to perlocution. The perlocutionary act is the effect the utterance has on the listener. It involves the consequences or responses that result from the speaker's utterance. Jadi perlocution adalah dampak ujaran terhadap pendengarnya atau tanggapan yang dihasilkan dari ucapan pembicara. Di sini it's quote in here, the listener might respond by closing the window, turning on the heater, or offering the speaker a blanket. The effect of the utterance is the listener taking action to address the coldness. Jadi efek ucapannya adalah pendengar mengambil tindakan untuk mengatasi kedinginan tersebut. Okay, this is the summary of example. Locution in the sentence is called in here, and the elocution is the implicit request for the listener to do something about cold. The perlocution is the listener closing the window or turning on the heater in response. Now, each of three types of elocutionary acts serves a different function in communication and helps convey the speaker's intention and desired outcomes. As described by philosopher John Searle, can be categorized into several types based on their function and purpose in communication. Here are the main types of elocution. Okay, the first is assertive. Assertive are statements that describe the word and convey information. The speaker is committed to the truth of the expressed proposition. Jadi assertif ini pembicara menyampaikan informasi terhadap kebenaran proposisi yang diungkapkan. Contohnya seperti it's raining outside, the earth revolves around the sun. The second is directives. Directives are attempts by the speaker to get the listener to do something. They express the speaker's desires or requests. Nah, direktif ini mengungkapkan keinginan atau permintaan pembicara kepada pendengar untuk melakukan sesuatu. Contohnya seperti please close the door, could you pass the salt? The next is commissives. Commissives commit the speaker to some future action. The speaker promises, vows, or pledges to do something. Ini commissive ini adalah pembicara melakukan janji, sumpah untuk melakukan sesuatu. Contohnya, I will help you with your homework. I promise to call you tomorrow. And expressive. Expressive convey the speaker's psychological state or attitude about a situation. They express emotions or feelings. Di expressive ini menyampaikan emosi atau perasaan yang sedang dialami. For example, I apologize for being late. And the next example is congratulations on your promotions. And the last is declaration. Declaration bring about a change in external situation by the mere act of making the utterance. The speaker has the authority to perform the act. Deklaratif itu membawa perubahan pada situasi eksternal hanya dengan tindakan mengucapkannya. Contohnya seperti I now pronounce you husband and wife. You are fired. Okay, so this is the last slide for this presentation. Thank you very much. Hopefully it is useful and can be understood clearly. Mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan kata dan ada kata-kata yang kurang dipahami. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.